Alright guys, today we have something pretty special. This is a VX Berlina, and there are two reasons why this is special, but the first one, this car only has 31,000 Ks on it. That is wild. That is really, really low. And you know it's real because this guy still works. This is one of those things that always breaks, that little thing there. Series 2 VX Berlina, original radio, which is really cool. Climate control, we have our cruise control, 3-level tier 3 cluster, which you can see there, lights up really well. Everything works except the antenna, which always breaks. We have our wood grain there. Because of the Series 2, it's got the black dash and the black door cards and this material on the seats, and no matter what, it seems the kilometers, they always separate from the seats. My VX is exactly the same. Another reason why this one is quite cool is because, well, it's in a good color, as you can see just there. It's in Shanghai red, and we're going to quickly jump out of here. It is a wagon. How cool is that? Now, this car, guys, in this condition, in a wagon, 25 years later, it's hard to believe that it's 25 years old, but it is. Crazy rare. It is in such good nick, honestly. And we still have the Berlina headlight protectors, which are really, really rare. Now, the original Series 2 VX Berlina wheels, all of the molding, it's tinted. We got all of the roof racks there, which is pretty cool. Like, this thing is straight as a dime. Taillights in great condition. This car belongs to Bar and Tire Auto, so that's really cool. So shout out to them for lending it to me. But yeah, we got our tow package. And if we open this guy up, some of my camera gear, but we also have the cage. And if I pull this forward, we have a cargo blind, which is pretty cool, so you don't see what's in there. We also have a full-size spare wheel, if I can show you guys there, full-size spare. And over here in our little carpeted spot, we got some jacks, and this guy we have just like a little storage pocket, I think, unless it's meant to be something there. But yeah, huge space. There's a little handle up there to help you close it, which is pretty cool. Yep, there we go. And we have a look in the back seat. I don't know if this back seat has ever been used in its life. It is firm, like hard. And there's a bit of look of it there. We got a little armrest with a cool little fancy hinge, and like, it's just in such good nick. Pockets are clean, everything's in such good condition. All because it's a Berlina, you know, all electric windows. But there's another reason why this car is cool, and that is because if we have a look in here, it has, here's a little hint for you, it has the 220 kilowatt 5.7 litre V8 LS1. Look at that. What a darling. Honestly, this car is such a find. In this condition, it's a great colour in these Ks, and being a V8 is pretty rare. I had a look online of how many they actually made of these. Little bit hard to find, but it seemed around 200-300, something like that. But again, because it's not a clubby or a Senator or anything, there wasn't really production numbers or anything, so it's hard to find. But yeah, I do like it, and I love the subtle V8 badge there that, you know, only people that know what this car is will recognize that. So yeah. All right, well, now it's time to take this for a drive, and I'm pretty excited because, look, I'll be honest, I've already driven it before I've recorded this, but to be lucky enough to drive one of these in such low Ks is very, very special. Now, we'll drop down our handbrake. One thing that is kind of sad of these versus the Calais is there is very limited chrome work or anything like that on the Berlinas. Just waiting for this terrible Holden Cruise to go past, and then we'll go. And there she is. Now, one thing I love about the Berlinas, now if you guys don't know, I actually have a Series 2 VX Berlina also, but mine is a V6 unfortunately, but it's a sedan. But I daily drove that car for years, and you know, using this stuff is actually useful, seeing how much distance you got till empty, and average speed, average fuel. Our average fuel is 12.8, which is pretty good for an LS1. There's our case, 31,000. The steering wheel on this car though is crazy. All of the grain, no twist, like it's perfect. Radio works. Even though this doesn't work, which is quite funny. Even on such a good example of a car, that doesn't work. The gaps here are really, really good. This guy does work though, which is pretty cool. We have our dual zone climate control, our cruise control, which you push in the button and then flick it. Automatic lights, they're just off at the moment, and electric mirrors. So you could never get a Calais wagon in the VX, but you could get a Berlina, and it has most of the features of the Calais, just not the, you know, wood grain interior and slightly different front end, like the black headlights and that. But so no VX Calais wagon, but definitely could get Berlina. And driving one of these in this low case, you really can see why these were so popular, because they are really comfortable to drive, they're nice, and they're extremely functional, extremely practical cars. Enormous area, as I showed you earlier. You know, you could get these, you still can, not the V8 ones and not like this kilometers, but if you could get a V6 one with a couple 100,000 Ks on this, you can get them for almost nothing. And they're reliable, and you know, they're not going to be as fun or as nice to drive as this one, but if you're looking for a family runaround, I mean, they're just so good. They're just so good at that. They're big, space. You can easily get 5 people in here, and if you have 4, you can fold down the armrest. And just, you know, the 3800 is a great engine, and just it's just an awesome car. It's just an awesome car, and I really appreciate Luke from Bowen Tyre and Auto for lending it out. And he did say that when he bought it, he had about 25,000 Ks on it, so he has put a few Ks on it. But you know, this car's 20 odd years, 25 almost years old now, and it's only got 30,000 Ks. And that is crazy. It drives like an absolute dream, guys. Really, like, so smooth and comfortable. I mean, what a good car, honestly. Just drives just as nice as any new car. If you guys aren't familiar as well, they also have the power buttons down there and the traction control buttons. Obviously, I did press the power button before, and I might use it in a little bit, but we're not going to be using the traction control button. But yeah, 220 kilowatts, so it could definitely brake traction if it needs, but yeah, we're not going to be doing that. I do really like the steering wheel buttons too. You know, we mute, we can change our volume, change our radio station, or press mode. And I also really like the standard radios in the VTVX. When I had mine, I drove mine for years as a daily driver, and I kept the standard radio in there, and I just had like a little blue radio transmitter underneath, because I love the big volume knob. It's great. And it's crazy to think how well these cars have aged. I think the styling's aged really well. Obviously the running gear has proven the test of time, and it's also interesting to think that this car's biggest competitor was the AU Wagon at the time, and I think it's a much better looking car than the AU Wagon. And you know, the argument might be there with the V6 versus the straight six, but as far as I know, there is an extremely limited amount of V8 wagons, and this would have been the only one that you could get, and it's really good. It's really good. So yeah, I don't hate an AU wagon. I don't mind them, and it's a fair comparison between the VX V6 wagon. But yeah, the V8 wagon is a bit of a class in its own, and it is interesting, like, you know, not necessarily the V8s, but I think every Australian has been touched by the VT, VX, VY, VZ wagon at some stage. They're just fantastic cars. Wherever you are on the economic ladder, someone would have had experience in their mates having one of these, or their parents owning one new, or their grandparents, or they bought one for $500 as a P-plater or whatever. I would feel that most Australians would have some connection with these cars, and you know, to experience one with such low kilometers is a real treat. And if this was a V6, I would have still done this video, because I mean, don't get me wrong, being the V8 is great, but you know, seeing one of these in its glory still is really special. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, I'm not going to be doing spirited driving. It's not really that kind of car. It's a standard height wagon. And I think the V8 in here is mostly, well, mostly maybe to make Dad happy at the dealership and to maybe help some of the cars, and maybe to help this car tow or whatever. But yeah, hard to believe that it's already 25 years old. And I'd imagine that this car will end up on club plates. It's really part of a collection. And one thing I've always said is these kind of cars in fantastic nick, they're rarer than supercars, and hear me out, because, or HSVs or whatever, because everyone looks after those cars, right? Where 95% of the people that buy this car don't care about it, they don't look after it. And so for one to have survived that is very cool. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it and can appreciate it as much as I do. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I have really enjoyed my time with this. It's been a real treat to enjoy such fantastic example of a car that's extremely important to Australian motoring culture. And again, not just the V8, the V6 ones are these as well. I feel like most Aussie car blokes would have some connection to them. So it is cool seeing one in such fantastic condition. And I really appreciate Luke for lending it out, because you know, most of the cars in this old colour have not aged very well, and this one looks like it just rolled off the lot.